Me, what do you say, Jay? Today is Friday, January 19th, and I'm Nicholas Benjamina.
And I'm Katie Benhart. Today we'll meet up with Jenny Rose Bell to talk about the highlights of the MLK Diversity Leadership Conference.
Jackson, Brody, and Josh are in the studio for our weekly sports debate.
And Josie and Danny are here to present Fun Fact Friday.
All this and so much more coming up next.
This is Liberty Life. Nick, I know I personally enjoyed the long weekend earlier this week. I didn't do anything in particular on Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, other than catch up on some homework. But what did you do?
Well, in celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I watched a movie about his life and spent some time with my family. It was pretty chill.
Oh wow, that sounds awesome. I'd really like to hear about other people who spent their holiday on Monday and what it meant to them.
I am happy that you brought that up because considerable amount of Liberty High School students went to the SCLA Leadership Conference to celebrate and gain knowledge of the notable civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr.
Stay tuned because after the sports debate with Jackson, Brody, and Josh, Jenny Rose Bell will be in here with us and we'll talk about the conference and Diversity Council. Now let's toss over to our sports debate.
Thank you guys. Welcome to our weekly sports debate. But before we get into that, we have some sports news. Last night in the CW Assessment Tournament, Liberty versus Park Hill played a tough match. Park Hill came out with the buzzer beater. Ronnie Bell hit the buzzer beater. He has 37 points in that game, and that sure did make the crowd quiet, But now to get in this week's sports debate, we're talking about who's making the Super Bowl. Both of these analysts say the Vikings are going to make the Super Bowl, but have different AFC teams. Brody Mueller says the Jags, Jackson Ogden says the Patriots. Brody, why do you think the Jaguars are going to make the Super Bowl?
You know, let's start off pretty easy. The star quarterback this season, 2-0 in the playoffs. Can't beat that. Their defense had 55 sacks in the regular season. I mean, I don't think the O-line of the Patriots can defend that very well. 1,040 rushing yards this season. The best running back in the NFL, in my opinion. Jags defense forced 17 fumbles and 21 interceptions. 2 of them were picked off for pick six. I mean, you can't tell me that's not an all-star team right there.
Thank you, Brody. Jackson, why do you think the Patriots are going to make the Super Bowl?
All right, well, that Jaguars defense did give up 42 points a week ago. It's not very good. That was versus Pittsburgh. Now imagine versus Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time. Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time. They're going to find a way to beat him, especially at Gillette. They always play to the opponent's weakness. They're going to find a way to beat Jacksonville. It's just that simple. They don't lose at home in the playoffs.
And since both of you agree that the Vikings are going to make it, Jackson, what do you think the Vikings have to do to win against the Eagles this weekend?
Show up, make sure the plane lands. There's really no way Philadelphia's going to win that game.
What about you, Brody?
I mean, Case Keenum's 2-0 in the playoffs, too. Great quarterback.
He's great.
He's got to make sure he's staying visual and sees the whole entire field, not just
And
one
they've
wide
got the
receiver.
momentum. After that big Diggs touchdown, they've got a lot of momentum going for them.
All right, thank you. Make sure to go vote at the KLHS 18 Twitter to vote who won, Brody or Jackson. Thank you for this weekly sports debate.
Thank you, boys, on that nice debate. Now we're here with Jenny Rose Bell. So tell us, Jenny, how was your experience at the conference?
My experience at the conference was overall really good. It was also very educating. I got to meet a lot of scholars and civil rights activists in the Kansas City area, and it was overall something great that I could learn about, specifically Martin Luther King Jr. and what he stood for.
What is like some things you learned at the conference?
Some things I learned at the conference was to affirm my presence and to make sure that I'm present and I'm confident. I usually think I'm like a confident person already, but whenever I got into a particular workshop, a lady made me stand up and actually announce my name proudly and confidently, and that kind of made me learn or take a step back and think over how exactly I present myself.
If you could go again, would you, or would you recommend someone else going if they had the chance?
If I could go again, I would love to. I would also love for other people to go because it really helps you rethink your life. Even though you think you have it all together and things like that, there's still a lot of things that you can learn, especially from the people who are there. So I would say whoever has the opportunity to go next year, go. Just go.
All right, thank you, Joni.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Anytime.
Now let's toss it over to Molly Filger interviewing Nathan Moon on the Crucible.
I'm Brooke here with Nathan Moon, interviewing him on the Crucible. So can you tell me a little bit about like your part in it?
Well, I'm Reverend John Hale, and basically I am the traveling minister that comes into Salem to help out with the witch trials and all that, and kind of sign the death warrants and make sure that everyone is actually a witch who they say they are.
So how often have you been rehearsing?
Because of all the snow days, we've only had 5 rehearsals, I think. But typically we rehearse Monday through Thursday, and then once we get closer to shows, we rehearse on Fridays. But we rehearse from right after school up until about 5:30 to 6 every night, so that's fun.
When is your show?
Our show is February 15th, 16th, and 17th at 7 o'clock in the Little Theater.
All right, everyone make sure to go check it out. This has been Brooke from KLHS.
Sorry about that, guys. That's actually Brooke Ingram interviewing Nathan Moon. They did a fantastic job on that, by the way. Hey, Jason, welcome to the Daily Dose.
We thought we'd end your 3-day week with some fun facts.
Do you think that you know what the largest mammal is? If you guessed the blue whale, then you're right on track. These mammals are actually so ginormous in fact that a small child could swim through their veins. Kind of like a big water park, I'm thinking,
Yeah,
you
forget
know?
oceans of fun.
Yeah, get out of here.
Next, did you know 8,000 Americans are injured every year by musical instruments? So watch out, drumline. You never know when your instrument is going to hit you back.
Finally, think that you're not athletic? Think again. The average person walks the equivalent to twice around the world in one lifetime. You know, I'm going to bring that up when my mom tells me to get out of bed this weekend.
Thanks. That's all we have for today. Thank you for watching the Daily Dose with us. And check out our Instagram and our Twitter at klhs.tv. Now back to the front desk.
Thank you, guys. That's crazy that an average person walks twice around the earth in a lifetime. Now, lastly, we're going to be talking about the new Mini Bell.
There will be a special newspaper delivery today. The edition is called the Mini Mega Bell. It is called the Mini Bell because it's a junior version of the Bell newspaper produced by the first semester Journalism 1 students. Mega is being added to the name because it's huge and it's the largest Mini Bell ever.
Newspaper has spotlighted 20 students, and it has news, features, sports, and even a game. There's an in-depth story about Liberty Hour and more. Make sure you read tomorrow's special edition of the Mini Mega Bell produced by Journalism 1 students.
Now, if everyone could please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's all we have for you today. From KLHS, this has been Katie Benhart, Jackson Ogden, Brody Mueller, Josh Gregory, Molly Filger, Danny Johnston, Josie Wilkinson, Brooke Ingram, and all of our amazing production crew. I'm Nicholas Benjamina. Have a great weekend, Jays.